Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Ashley McDowell. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. A health advisory is sent out by CHCC warning about an illness that has been reported on the island. Also tonight, a sentence is affirmed for a male that is serving 30 years. And we head to one of the private schools to check out their first day back in class. In sports, skies clear for the benefit of the Tournament of Champions. Stay with us, these stories and more are next.
The phone you want now on the best network and a plan that gives you endless data on chat, social, and music apps. Tell your Docomo Pacific rep you want now with access. Docomo Pacific, better together. Some conditions apply.
We're here for Saipan, we're here for life.
Hafa Day, Tirwami, and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is August 8th, 2019. A health advisory is issued by the Commonwealth healthcare officials, and while they say there is no cause for alarm, travelers should be extra cautious. Dengue fever is a mosquito-borne tropical disease caused by the dengue virus. The Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation is informing residents that there has been one confirmed case of dengue fever on the island of Saipan.
The affected person recently returned from a trip to Palau where we believe he most likely contracted the infection. Only 1 in 4 people who are infected with dengue will actually get sick, approximately. The symptoms include a sudden high fever, severe headaches, and pain behind the eyes, severe joint and muscle pain, fatigue, nausea and vomiting, and a skin rash that appears 2 to 5 days after the onset of the fever. If you are experiencing these symptoms, especially if you've returned recently from Palau, Yap, or the Philippines, we encourage you to go see your doctor.
Dengue fever is transferred by mosquitoes, and of the 2 types of mosquitoes that transfer the infection, only one is present in the Sinamay.
To reiterate what Zoe said, the particular mosquito that we worry about likes to bite people in the daytime. So it's not a nighttime biter, it will come out early morning and at dusk, but he's around the house at daytime.
Officials from the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation say testing for this infection would be necessary only if you have recently traveled.
It is a febrile illness. You feel like you have the flu, you feel like you have some kind of bug. But if you've never traveled, we're not going to suspect that case. But if they said, oh, we went to Manila a week ago, then we get a little bit more suspicious and get through the protocol and do the tests that are required. Along the way, we also rule out other viruses that are in certain areas that are endemic.
But Dr. White says dengue fever is a common disease, especially in the tropics.
We shouldn't be surprised by finding a dengue case here. The Pacific is common for dengue fever. In the South Pacific right now, Tuvalu, New Caledonia, the Cook Islands and French Polynesia all have outbreaks. In the north, Yap and Palau have outbreaks of dengue fever, as does the Philippines. So it's to be entirely expected that people will have occasional traveler-associated dengue fever.
The Bureau of Environmental Health is monitoring and tracking the mosquitoes on the island. And Warren Villagomez with the Public Health Hospital Emergency Preparedness says the chance of an outbreak of dengue fever in the Sinamay is low.
We are doing a lot of leaning forward planning. Our surveillance team are activated to monitor all critical Sentinel sites, as well as the private clinic reaching out and making sure that we capture anything that comes our way, and we try to be prepared. But with all the efforts that our epidemiologist has put together and plans of action, I feel that we are in good hands. We're in control. We have contained and identified the case, and we are monitoring, reaching out to Guam as well to make sure that future index could be shared amongst the region, so we can better prepare.
There is a vaccine for dengue, but is only approved for those who have been confirmed with the infection. The infection cannot be spread unless you are bit by the mosquito that carries the disease.
Dengue is a relatively short-term duration illness. It's typically around a week. So it's not a long-term illness. Sometimes people can have some side effects, body aches for a few weeks, but generally speaking, it's a short-term, mild illness with very few complications.
In some ways, Dr. White says you can prevent getting the disease is
really fighting the bite and stopping getting bitten is the only game in town. It's to avoid being bitten by mosquitoes. So make sure that you have no standing water around your property, to empty tires and containers. Do that regularly, twice a week, to ensure that you have air conditioning or close your property during the day so that mosquitoes cannot get into the house during the day. If you have screens, make sure they work. We had a terrible typhoon last year, so everyone should make sure that their screens and doors around their windows fit properly and work properly to avoid mosquitoes coming into the house.
In Supreme Court, an opinion is issued affirming a male sentenced to 30 years in prison. The court states Alfredo Regis was found guilty of 3 counts of sexual abuse of a minor in the first degree in 2013 for sexually abusing the victim on 3 separate occasions. Regis was sentenced to 30 years in prison without the possibility of parole, probation, or early release. On the appeal, Regis claimed his sentence was not tailored to his circumstance and his parole eligibility was restricted improperly, and asked the court to return his case to trial court for sentencing by a different judge. The Supreme Court found reasonable grounds to keep the maximum sentence without the possibility of parole for Regis, denying his request to vacate his sentence. The Supreme Court also affirms a 30-year sentence for a male found guilty of sexual abuse of a minor in the first degree. Donald Hokog was found guilty in 2013 for sexually abusing the victim on multiple occasions. The trial court sentenced him to 30 years without the possibility of parole or early release. On the appeal, Hokog claimed the sentence was not tailored to his circumstance, his parole was improperly restricted, and he was sentenced based on insufficient evidence. In this case, the Supreme Court found the complete restriction of eligibility of parole was improper because trial court's justification was inadequate and insufficient, therefore vacates the parole restriction while affirming the 30-year sentence. Classes have started back for a couple of the private schools here on the island of Saipan, and one of those is Mount Carmel. We speak with administration to hear how the first day is kicking off.
First day back to school, we just started signing up most of our seniors and juniors for their classes. All of our students already have their classes figured out, and we're just going to kick this off real strong. So we're looking forward to more events to come.
While Super Typhoon U2 did some damage to certain parts of the school infrastructure, they are able to use all the classrooms and most of the campus.
This is still a recovery process. We're still working. We have preliminary work going on with our gymnasium, but it's actually a kind of a complicated issue because we have 2 historical landmarks here on campus. So we have to tread lightly between Historic Preservation Office and also anything we can do to just rebuild effectively, right? So we're working closely with FEMA. We actually we've submitted everything. As far as I know, we have submitted most of our documentation. We're kind of just waiting on the process to move forward. But we're working hard to ensure, and throughout the summer, we've worked really hard to ensure that all of our classrooms are ready.
Although Mount Carmel has almost reached its full capacity, there are still some classes available if parents are looking to enroll their kid.
So the numbers are looking pretty great. We're actually almost towards full capacity, which is 610. But we're also still open in certain grade levels. So if there are parents that are still interested in registering or applying to enroll their child here at Mount Carmel School, they can definitely call the main office here at MCS, or they can even visit us online at montcarmelsaipan.com.
Coming up, we head to a local cafe to check out what's cooking on the grill. Stay tuned.
Get the phone plan you're looking for at IT&E. Stay connected with the strongest, widest, and most reliable network in the Marianas. Stream, share, play, shop, and surf the web with super fast 4G LTE data. Whether you need just a few gigabytes of data to get by, or if you want to go further with unlimited data, there's a plan for you. You'll always get the best price. Visit any IT&E store or call us to learn more. IT&E. Explore your world.
At one of Saipan's beaches, this mother lays about 100 eggs under the cover of darkness. She hides her nest as best she can and then slowly makes her way back to the ocean. The eggs hatch and the babies head for the sea, where they will face a daily dose of danger. Just 1 in 1,000 will make it to adulthood. Those that do will one day lay their own eggs. Sea turtles are protected under CNMI law. If you see one that is stranded or if you see illegal activity, call the hotline at 287-8537.
Welcome to Local Bites. For those of you who love the Shack, you may be familiar with their little brother, located right here at the bottom of the Marianas Business Plaza. And today, they're cooking up some juicy burgers. Let's check out the Airstream.
We opened in, shortly after the typhoon.
Glenn met up with Jasper and they started talking about opening this.
When the shack was damaged, we didn't have a job, so this was kind of like a way to give us something to do and to sort of still have that, like a shack feeling, I guess. Yeah. The menu is a little bit more smaller than the shack, so it's we do like the quinoa bowls, the salad bowls, we have the acai bowls and the chia pudding. We also do like some of the popular items from the shack, like the chili over rice, and then some of the thing that makes the Airstream itself, like the burgers.
I am here with Chef Sid, who is going to grill up some bacon cheeseburgers. All right, so let's get to grilling.
So the patties are here.
So do you guys have the patties already prepped up? Do you prep them up in the morning, or?
Yeah, I come in early in the morning and then I prep. I'll just grill them up. While I'm grilling it, I'm gonna start prepping my stuff.
It's nice and grilled up as well.
Alright, while that one is cooking, we get the fries.
And each one of these burger sets comes with the fries, right?
Yeah.
Alright, here we go.
So now we set the plates.
Alright, let's set it up. Take these and set them out. Looks like we got some tomatoes, onions, and lettuce. Fries for you. most important in my opinion, the cheese. Here's all the flavor. Adding the meat on meat. Yum. Yum. Now that is a burger. Now the finishing touch is the special sauce. And what kind of sauce is this?
My secret sauce.
Ooh, it's his secret special sauce. Ooh, let's try it. All right, it's that time. Let's take a bite. Delicious as always. So make sure you check out the Airstream located right here at the Marianas Business Plaza and check out one of their world famous burgers. Check in next time on Local Bites.
Thanks, Ashley. It looks like a fun job. How do you get a job like that? I know it tastes good because I tried it. All right, over on Guam, more than 100 minor victims are rescued from sex trafficking, and one was on Guam. KUAM's Adriana Cotero has this report.
Hafa-Day CNMI, here's what's making news on Guam. A month-long nationwide dragnet of sex traffickers has resulted in the rescue of more than 100 minor victims, including one from Guam. According to an FBI news release, a 33-year-old man was arrested here for allegedly trafficking a minor girl to a 48-year-old man in exchange for cash and drugs. The bust was led by the FBI and a team of 20 investigators from GPD, the U.S. Postal Inspection Service, the Coast Guard Investigative Service, and Homeland Security Investigations. The suspects were not identified. More than 400 law enforcement agencies across the country were involved in Operation Independence Day. In all, 103 juveniles were identified or recovered, and 67 suspected traffickers were arrested. The sweep resulted in 60 new federal investigations. India's Consul General for the U.S. West Coast and the Pacific is making his first ever trip to Guam. Former Ambassador Sanjay Panda met with local officials to discuss possible economic tie-ups between Guam and communities from his vast country.
Ambassador Sanjay Panda is here as a guest of the Indian community of Guam. He's already met with Governor Lulian Guerrero on the potential for trade and investment.
She was very clear, what is required for Guam. For example, aquaculture, fishery management, agriculture. These are the areas where Guam actually could really benefit by linking with India.
He says Guam would need to engage a third country that has a market size big enough to attract Indian investors and also leverage our proximity to Asia.
ASEAN is next door, and Japan, Korea. For example, if you're talking about fisheries, here aquaculture and fishery management, as I mentioned, could be such that that's a major area where investment can flow here, and with a focus on exporting to other nearby countries.
Panda says he can help facilitate trade delegations so potential investors can see for themselves what Guam has to offer. His role will be as the matchmaker.
It has to be a PPP model, as we call it, public-private partnership model. The government helps, but the private sector takes the plunge, but the government facilitates, and will be very happy to facilitate.
Panda was formerly the ambassador to the Seychelles. He's now based in San Francisco, where there's a large Indian population in the nearby Silicon Valley. His consulate is also India's largest, with oversight of areas from Alaska to Guam.
Stay connected via our KUAM mobile news app. Follow us on any of the social media platforms and sign up for our weekly email newsletter, KUAM Digital Digest, on KUAM.com. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
Thank you, Adriana. All right, coming up, a popular race succumbs to the bad weather. But cheer up, there's now something to look forward to. Shrimp Company. Opens daily at 11 a.m. Located on Beach Road in the heart of Garapan.
You deserve more. I know it's been hard. Come on, let's go for a ride.
Hi, welcome to Dow Rent to Own.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now this feels like home.
Dial Rent to Own, making lives better since 1987.
Buenas sports fans. Buenas sports fans, the NMI U15 girls soccer team is enjoying a day of rest today. That's after 3 games in 3 days. Here are the final results of the East Asian Football Federation Festival in Korea in Group B. Hong Kong goes undefeated. Guam, Mongolia, and the NMI all had 2 points apiece. The NMI had 2 draws. That was worth a half a point each. The tiebreaker was most goals scored. Therefore, NMI finishes 4th with those couple of goals. Tomorrow, the NMI will play an exhibition game against Chinese Taipei. Saturday, the big one, NMI versus China. David and Goliath, except these are teenage girls. All systems are go for the biggest and grandest golf tournament of the year, the Governor's Tournament of Champions. It's all set for Saturday and Sunday. The greens are a lot greener than green after 7 inches of rain this week. Lau Lau Bay Golf Resort once again will be employing both of its courses for this international affair that keeps growing. Tournament coordinator Ben Babauta stoked.
This year, just last night, we got over 201 golfers. This is as of last night. We were expecting probably another 20 to 30 golfers between today and tomorrow. And yes, we do have a number, almost 34 players from Guam. A big contingent from Guam, including Louis Hangao, defending champ a few years ago. So he's out here. And we got 6 from Japan, 8 from China. In fact, I just saw 2 guys practicing around up there. And definitely 6 from Rota, and of course a couple from Tinian. That's including a former Mayor de la Cruz, and of course our local favorite, the local golfers. So yeah, looking for a full fill here, Bob. And yeah, great prizes. 5 cars this year. 5 cars, over 200 and over 200,000 of possible prizes, close to 3 actually. Just being modest here.
Well, don't shoot the messenger. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but hey, that's my job. Well, due to inclement weather, the PIC 5K scheduled for Saturday has been postponed. This most colorful fun run attracts more than 1,000 people of all ages and abilities. The good news is now you have something to look forward to next month. PIC's Dennis Tababa and Gloria Kavanaugh have the specifics.
Ladies and gentlemen, has been postponed to September, sometime in September. Again, it's not canceled. If you've already registered, don't worry about it. We'll just move the event to September and hope for better weather.
Yeah, I mean, if you decided that perhaps, you paid for it already and you don't know whether or not you're going to be here in September, or you want to make that decision in September, then you can always come here and refund it. But just make sure you bring your bib, because that bib holds, the key to a lot of raffle prizes, and to a free shirt, a t-shirt, and, the event.
I know all of the kids are excited to get back to school. Even me, I'm excited too. Well, I'm not going to class, but I'll go to the games after school. Public School Systems Athletic Director Nick Gross has released an ambitious sports schedule for the 2019-20 school year with something for everybody. The plan is made possible by PSS partnering with various on-island sports associations, starting in September with cross country. And then there's soccer for the boys and basketball for the girls. The high school will also have girls volleyball and co-ed golf. Swimming is coming in for the first time in November for all the schools thanks to PIC 500 sales and Crees. The Natibu Sports Association has been asked to help out starting and conducting boys and girls fast pitch softball games, while NMIFA will be coordinating the boys soccer. High school girls basketball will start in November thanks to MEBA. High school boys basketball will start in February, as well as co-ed outrigger canoeing. April will see NMI kick off the athletic season, culminating with the McDonald's All Schools Championships in May. All in all, PSS is coordinating 9 different sports for boys and girls in grades 4 through 12 for all schools, the biggest offering of sports in PSS history.
Here's the windup and the pitch.
I don't believe what I just saw!
Let's roll at Gold's Gym Saipan with group exercise for every body. Total Resistant Exercise, or TRX, helps develop your core and improve strength. And Zumba toning is probably the funnest way to get fit. The Shake Cafe is a great place to stop by for a meal replacement or supplements. Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
Typhoon Koshra is a Category 1 storm bearing on Iwo Jima. Today's high 85, the heat index 99, the low 77, humidity 84%. Tomorrow mostly cloudy, isolated showers, east winds around up to 25 miles an hour, higher at 88, low 79. High surf advisory is in effect through next Tuesday. Seas very rough out there. Surf up to 17 feet on the western reefs. Seas 10 to 13 feet. Sunrise 6:01. A low tide at 9:06 in the morning, followed by a high tide at 4:05. Sunset at 6:43.
Thank you, Bob, for that weather.
There's some of those waves.
Yeah.
They're still big out there, by the way. I went out there today and looked at them. Pretty big waves.
You know, we got a little bit of a clear sky today. Can we
breaking
look forward?
up? My prediction is we're going to get a lot of clouds. This is a rainy season, but I think this is going away. It's going to break up, and I'm really looking forward to the weekend already. I know it's only Thursday.
I am too.
I'm always looking.
Tomorrow,
Monday,
right?
I'm looking forward to the weekend.
Me too. Every day. Me too. The weekend starts tomorrow, and we get to officially say it.
Yeah.
All right. One more day.
Wait. You have to wait.
I'll wait for the one more day. All right. Thanks, Bob, and thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your night. Tune in tomorrow night at 6.
Good night.